Is it really true that the four fundamental forces are governed by four completely separate sets of rules, with no relation to each other? In the energy filament theory, this idea that one world has four different instruction manuals is an indication of the deep divisions inherent in the old framework. Think back to your school days and the experience of studying these forces. When you learned about gravity, you were told that mass and distance determine how gravity works, illustrated by examples like the apples falling from a tree and planets orbiting stars. Then, when you moved on to electromagnetism, the picture completely changed. You suddenly had to understand electric charges, magnetic field lines, the right-hand rules, and complex diagrams all over the place. The strong force, on the other hand, was introduced through terms like color charge and confinement, concepts that were mysterious and difficult to grasp, hidden deep within atomic nuclei. And then, there was the weak force, which was responsible for particle decay, explained with abstract ideas like lifetimes, flavor changes, and strange symbols. Each chapter presented a new set of vocabulary, with its own symbols and logic. Gravity used geometry plus potential slopes. Electromagnetism described the interaction with field lines plus wave equations. The strong force was defined by gluons and colors, and the weak force by flavor and charge. It felt like stepping into a scientific shopping mall, where each store was selling a completely different theory, and none of the stores recognized the others. As a student, you were left to memorize one theory after another. Gravity is calculated this way in one chapter. Electromagnetism works another way in the next. Nuclear forces have a whole different approximation, and the weak force appeared only in high-energy physics problems. Over time, you began to form the idea that the universe was split into four completely separate parts, only tenuously connected by the vague promise of a unified theory or a grand unified model. This division of the forces is further emphasized by historical reasons. Gravity was discovered first, through observations of falling apples and planetary orbits. Then electromagnetism was discovered, starting with simple experiments with electrical wires and magnets. The strong and weak forces emerged much later, from nuclear phenomena and high-energy experiments. The force discovered first naturally claimed its own chapter, while those discovered later were relegated to the back of the book. Over time, this historical progression led to the widespread belief that these forces must be treated separately, that the world is divided into four distinct forces, each requiring its own explanation. However, according to the energy filament theory, this textbook division simply reflects the fragmented way that human understanding of these forces unfolded. It doesn't mean that the underlying mechanisms of these forces are truly separated from one another. In the world of energy filaments, if there is a unified underlying system and energy C, then gravity, electromagnetism, the strong force, and the weak force are merely different responses of the same system. They emerge differently depending on factors like the scale at which they are observed, the texture of the energy field, and the constraints of the environment. These forces are not separate entities but are, in fact, all interconnected, with each force simply being a different way the energy C responds to different conditions. What we're doing in this season is to peel back the layers of this textbook division, to show how it misrepresents the true nature of these forces. We will place these four seemingly disconnected forces back on the same map, to see if they can be unified under the same set of rules, as four different expressions of the same energy C. This perspective opens up new ways of understanding the universe and its fundamental forces, showing that they are not independent forces with separate governing rules, but interconnected aspects of a single underlying system. Next episode preview: the four fundamental forces are actually one family. Tap follow, share it on New Physics, Clear Universe.